All right, so welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so today, Google question of the day, because I know that's what you guys always kind of wait for. You kind of want to know. It is going to be, the question will be, what is the solution for the third example we do in class today? It's a third problem. So that's the one we're going to do. So that'll be the third slide we get to today. So I will clearly warn you when you're there that that's the question I want you to submit. It'll be a price problem. It'll be a total price that you're paying on a ticket for a train. We're going to do trains one more day, and then tomorrow we'll get homework in class. So so tomorrow, if you're at home zooming in, make sure that you have your stuff ready to go. I'll probably, just in case you guys didn't take your textbook home, I'll probably have it on a worksheet tomorrow just in case. So you'll have a homework assignment. It'll be due, probably on Monday or Tuesday next week. So so keep that in mind. If you have not checked Google Classroom, you probably should be doing that every day. I post a question of the day that you have to answer. I post, homework there. So if you have not turned in anything to Google Classroom, I don't know where you've been the last 2 weeks. We've had quite a bit of stuff to put on there. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a few notes. I got 3 slides I want to go through. In the third slide, you're going to submit the answer back to me. If your video, let's say your internet goes out at home, you'll have to watch the video later today and then submit your answer to me, because I've already seen that you're here. So it shouldn't have any major issues. So, but yeah, let's jump right in. So again, we're doing trains and public transportation. We had homework due yesterday. That was last night at 11:59. So if you did not turn in the homework, it was a worksheet based on Uber and UberX, so you should be turning that in if you haven't already. The Google question just went live, so I said about 3-4 minutes into class, as always. Let's jump right in here. So first thing, this is the in-class activity we did yesterday. So if you were not in class, you missed this. You were supposed to check your total price for the trip for these 3 questions. And you had to submit your answer to me in Google Classroom. So you had to open this picture up or the document and answer these 3 using the chart that I provided you. That was the in-class activity yesterday. So if you were here, you were online, you probably knew that. If you didn't, you missed your points, because I actually am going to enter this as a homework score for those who are in class. But we're going to go through these right now because this is a perfect example. This is not the answers you're going to submit on Google today. The third page, I got a couple more pages to go after this one. So this is just to go over the solutions we did yesterday, so you know if you did it right or wrong. Maybe you remember the questions you did. Let's walk through this. So in this one, you're doing round trip at peak hours for Fordham for 2 adults and 1 child. So this is all the stuff we're doing here. So round trip, peak hours, Fordham, 2 adults, 1 child. So let's go through that. So Fordham is right here. Peak hours, $13.25. So I'm going to go back to that last slide. It is $13.25 for a ticket. It's round trip. So we have to buy 2 tickets. So really, our price of our ticket is $26.50. Does that make sense? That's the price of a ticket for an adult. Now, we have 2 adults, so we're going to have 2 $26.50s, and we have 1 child. Now, the stipulations, if I go back to that last slide, the last slide said if you have a child that has 1 or more adults with them, they pay half fare. If otherwise, if there's no adults with that child, they'll pay full price. So that's what we're looking at here. We're paying half the fare for this. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot of that one. All right, so in my case, my child is going round trip for half the cost, so they're only paying $13.25 for their ticket round trip, half price. And so what we do is we'd add these up. So $26.50 plus $26.50 plus $13.25. And what I'm getting is $66.25. Questions? Okay, I'm going to copy that down. Okay, so that was the first question from the homework yesterday. Second question from the homework yesterday. Here we go. Let me erase this. I'll switch colors up here. So second question, we're going one way off peak hours, so not peak during, so just during the day at some point, from Largo for 1 adult, 2 children, and 1 infant. And the infant is not in their own seat. I didn't clearly mark that, so they're going to be sitting on your lap. So 1 adult and 2 children off peak at Largo. So let's go over here. Let's mark down everything we need. So we're going to Largo. Here it is. We're off peak hours, so 1550. Okay, and we have 1 adult going, so the children are going to pay half fare, and the infant is not occupying their own seat, so they are free. All right, so 1550. So, and we're doing one way. So my ticket for an adult is 1550. So there's that 1 adult. The 2 children. Well, 1550 divided by 2 is 775. So that's 1 child. This is the other child. And then it's $0 for the infant. So they're free because they're not in their own seat. I didn't clearly mark that. So you'd add these up. 1550 plus 775 plus 775. And we're getting $31 even. So there is your second one we did in class yesterday. And the last one from yesterday's notes. I'll switch it up again in color. Okay, we're going one direction at peak hours, so one way. We're going peak hours to Union. 2 adults and an infant, and the infant's in their own seat, so there's a stipulation we have to do for the price of that one. Okay, so again, we're at peak hours at Union. So let's erase all this. Let me circle everything here. So Union, here it is. Ooh, I should pick a different color to circle this. Pick this orange color. So Union, peak hours. We're taking an infant, and the infant is in their own car seat, so they're charged half since they're in their own car seat. So we're going to be half of this, and we're at peak hours one way. Okay. Okay, so what was that? That was $37.25, right? All right, so $37.25. So $37.25 for the adult, $37.25 for another adult, and then half of that for the infant. This is $18.625. And we have to add these up, and this will be the total for the Union train trip for 2 adults and 1 infant, and the infant's in their own seat, so maybe they're in a car seat, and you're leaving them sit on the train. So $37.25, $37.25, plus $18.625. We're getting a total on this one of $93.12, so about $93.13 roughly. We ballparked it. So those are the Google question answers that you had yesterday. You had to submit all 3 of those. You just had to tell me the total. You didn't have to show me any of the work. So, all right. So that was the first page today. I just want to clarify what the answers were. It's nice to see if you did them right. You can probably go back and look and see what you submitted. I think you can always go back on Google Classroom and check what you actually entered, because you can edit your answers. So, but you don't need to. So, now, I think I took a screenshot of that. I'm pretty sure I did. I'll leave it there. Okay, so we need to go through my last 2 problems here. So these are my last 2 slides that we're going to do. So I'll warn you when you get to the Google question of the day today. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is what happens if you are going round trip and you're not going to have somebody come back with you. So like it's going to be a little bit complicated. So we're going to go to Davis. We're taking 2 adults and 1 child. And the idea is that the child is going to go round trip, but the adults are going one way. So round trip for the adults, the child is going, one way for the adults and round trip for the child. So for the adults, one way at Davis. So here's Davis. Okay. All right. So for Davis, and this is, let's go with off-peak hours. So we'll go off-peak hours. All right, so for the adults, they have a price of $2 per ticket. So the 2 adults paying $2 to go their way that they're going. The child is going to pay round trip. Now this is the tough part. This is the part you have to think about. Typically, the price of a ticket would be, it'd be, for a child, it's half the cost, right? So going one direction is half, okay? Because you can see it right here. Children pay half. Otherwise, they're charged full. Well, this is the thing you have to think about. The child is going one direction, okay? So they're going to pay half the price. So they're going to pay the $1 to go, to Davis. But when they come home, they're not going to have their adults with them. So now they have to pay full price coming back because they're not with an adult. They're not accompanied by an adult on the way back. So their round trip ticket will be $2 coming home. They're charged full price on the way back home. So really the child's charged $3. $1 to get you there, and then $2 the normal ticket price coming back. Because typically, if you see this, round trips are just double the fare. You're buying 2 tickets basically, but it's cheaper for that kid to go there with an adult and then back by themselves than just buying 2 full round trip by themselves. So the total here, if we add these all up, 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2, what is that? $7 total for the tickets that we're doing. This is something we didn't talk about yesterday. It's like, what happens if you're going one direction, you're not coming back, or somebody in your party's not coming back?
What problem was this one? The second or third?
Second. This is second. We have one more problem to go, and then we're done for the day. So this next one is the one you're going to submit to me on Google Classroom. This next one coming up.
Which one do we need to submit to Google Classroom?
The next problem we're going to do. The next one, yes, the third one.
Okay.
Okay, last question. This is the one you're going to submit. Okay, we're going to go to Taft. So we're gonna go to Taft on this one. We're going Taft at peak hours. We're going round trip. And we're going with 4 children. 4 children. No adults. So Taft is right here. Taft at peak hours. $23.75. Okay, so we're going round trip. So we're going to have to double that price here in a second. So we know what the prices are. But for these children, are they paying full or half price? Full. There's no adults being accompanied. So there's no more adults. So we're charging full. So they're paying $23.75, and then we have to double that price. So $23.75, $23.75 times 2. So they're actually paying $47.50 for a round trip ticket. It's 2 full, peak hour prices. So each kid will be charged to $47.50, and there's 4 of them. That is one expensive train ride. So $47.50, adding it up, we're going to get $190. That's what you need to submit to me on Google today. It's $190. In fact, I'm going to circle that. There's your number right there. All right, that's it for today. So I just want to cover this. We're going to have homework tomorrow. It'll be probably a worksheet tomorrow. Expect about 5 problems again. It'll be based on the train question. And then we'll probably start some new stuff tomorrow. We have to talk about hotels now. So that'll be the next idea that we're going into, hotel prices. We've been talking about traveling, buses. We're talking about, Ubers and whatnot. But now we got to talk about a hotel. And eventually we'll get to airlines. We'll get to airline prices. That'll be the next one we do after hotels. All right, that's it. You guys can log off once you get your answer submitted. You guys are good to go today. So.